Yeah, sell your rental.
Hey Brandon, how's it going?
Hey, good morning, guys. Going well. How about you guys?
I can't complain.
Good,
Good.
doing
Good.
good.
How's Europe?
It's good. We hopped over the Adriatic Sea. We're in Croatia now,
Oh,
and
nice.
I much prefer it. They're very everybody speaks English here. They're more modern than Italy. They got just like better tech, better grocery stores, better everything, and they're trying to get people to come. Like they're encouraging, entrepreneurs, nomads, everybody that has money, just handing out visas and residence permits. So I think this it's right by the ocean on the harbor. It's quite nice.
Nice. Nice. Is are there any artwork for sale in your room?
In Croatia, you mean?
Or I mean, any artwork for sale in your
Oh,
Airbnb?
in this room. No, no, I don't have any naked bodies in this room. It's very standard.
Well, you
Yeah,
still
sorry.
have it. You still have it
I have
buzzed.
it censored out because yeah, I guess I didn't want to distract anyone with decorations.
How nice of you.
But nothing funky this
But
time.
I'm thinking you got rid of the full-on beard, like the rest of us Americans have. Is that a European thing to go stash only?
No, no, I just I wanted some for my 5-year-old stepson, I wanted some respect. So I kept like a mustache to appear older.
What
And
Versus shaving it all the way.
you got?
yeah, I decided to get rid of the uncomfortable, but keep the respectful part.
Yeah.
Ah,
That
I
goes
see.
with it.
The flavor saver.
Yeah, it's a more of a dad thing at that point.
Yeah,
Flavor safe.
cool. Well, hey, can we continue on? Sorry, before I hit record, you were starting to tell me about a pretty cool strategy to
Sure.
take all of pretty much get 100% financing on your properties that you currently have, like turn your rentals into seller finance deals and keep your existing debt on them, try to lever them to the hilt so that you pretty much are getting out of the market risk portion of the property and equity gain, but you continue to gain the spread in the difference between the amortization schedules from your seller finance and your existing finance. And you'll have no money into the deals. Is that
Yeah. Let
sound
me
about
give you
right?
the premise of okay, how do I exit this property, a rental?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could either, buy out the tenant, cash for keys. Now you're going to incur vacancy, definitely going to incur some cleanup costs, even if it's, say, rehabbed already, right? There's definitely going to be some things to fix up. You're going to have now be selling a vacant property on the market where this condo has gone from 250 to let's say maybe 220, 230. You don't know, right? But you're probably going to realize some kind of loss due to either seasonality or where interest rates are, right? So that could be even $10,000 loss compared to what you could have sold it for, let's say at the peak, right? So you're looking at all these things, and you also have a nice, like, say, 4% loan, right? And you're like, man, really don't want to get rid of that loan. It's a sweet loan, right? Works You worked so hard to get that loan many years ago,
Right,
and your
right.
principal, you're paying more principal each month, so you're just paying it down faster and faster, right? Starting to ride the curve a little bit. And so I thought to myself, and I thought, all right, what could be a good way to exit this rental? And I thought, you know what, my tenant's already paying, they've made all their payments on time the last 2 years, right? And I haven't raised rent because she's a great tenant and she works a full-time job and she's never calls us for anything. Right. So I thought, what if it wouldn't hurt us, but what if I offered her buying the property from me at the same payment that she is doing now and no money down, right? I mean, how could she turn that down, right? If she wants to be a property owner, get the appreciation in the future, start to get the benefits of at least she could write off her interest, whether that's an institutional lender or me, she can at least still get an interest write off, right? Get the appreciation. Now she owns it, can do whatever she wants with the property. And then she could move out and turn it into her investment vehicle for cash flow in the future. So that's what came to mind is, well, if she's paying all this rent, surely she would rather, if I could come up with an offer and no money down, surely she would pay the same payment as long as she thought, okay, this complex isn't going to hell. And it's not going to hell. I wouldn't say it's a luxurious, class A living, but there's certainly a place for it in where it is in Denver. It's middle class kind of a place. So anyway, I am thinking about making this offer to her, and I can report back, if and when she accepts. But the one thing I thought about, man, how am I going to get all this equity out though? That's the only problem is if I offer this on terms, even if I offered $5,000 down, the problem is I have all this now dead equity in there that could take years to realize, right? And I want to be able to use that and turn it into a next deal. Even if I owe taxes on it, I would rather want to have it in a deal, another long-term deal working for me, even if it's a 2x in 5 years. I would want it in something.
So your point is to pretty much exit the deal, but hold on to the amortization schedule difference. So it's better than just selling the house because you get your cash out and you get the amortization schedule difference. So you kind of have something over on the side growing still, right?
Yeah. So that is a profit center, but my only view of on the front side is I could take a $30,000 loss is the way I think of it and sell it on the market, or I could try to squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, right? All 30,000, sell it for like, as high as those units have ever sold. So it's kind of like saying, let's go for it, right? It's not an unreasonable number. I'm not marking it up by 20%, but it certainly is a way to avoid all the closing costs. I save myself the commissions. There's a lot of savings there. And the best part is the stress per dollar earned now drops significantly because I don't have to do anything. She's already living there. So if we can work out a deal on terms. So my thought is, then how do you refinance out this property? I could go get a Vectra Bank in Denver does, they've done up to 80% investment, but I think now they're down to about 65.
Oh, really? They dropped it.
Yeah, I called a few weeks ago, and it's very hard to find banks in general. Vectra is one of the few
that'll do HELOCs.
Yeah, there's only about 25 across the US, and not a ton of them are in Colorado. And I have that list for my broker investor mentees if you ever want to join in the program. Yeah. I've spent a long time compiling a list of all the banks across the credit unions, especially. Anyway, so I can only so that still leaves a delta of at least 30% locked in that property, right? Which is, in my case, would be about $75,000 of equity. Even if I refinance out, grab a HELOC or a second mortgage, and then sell, and then sell on terms or sell a lease option, give up control. The problem is I still lock up too much money that I want to get out of the property. I want to get 70, all of it. I want 100% loan to value out of the deal, right? I don't want to leave behind this. My problem is the return on equity has dropped to like 2%, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm only making a couple $1,000s a year, and I got this huge chunk of equity in there that I need to get out. So a way to, I think, to create more income based on the amortization that you're talking about is I can offer to her, hey, why don't you want to buy this place for $250? The top unit in here, just similar finishes to this, sold for $250 last year. We all anticipate the market will come back soon, right? But more importantly, I'll give you flexible terms. I'll give you no money down, right? And your existing payment, we could build in an interest rate that's reasonable, right? Maybe I'll say, hey, I'll do a prime +1 on, you're going to pay the same monthly payment, but we'll amortize the loan to whatever it has to be, stretch it out as long as we need to go, so that, let's say the payment might go up a little bit by like 50 or $100, just depending on, I still have to run it through a amortization schedule, right? But let's just try to keep her pretty close.
Here, hold one sec. Notesunlimited.com is the best place to go make your amortization schedule. But go on. It's free.
Okay, good. Because I haven't done the math yet, but it's like, I want to keep it close to $1,350. If it goes up to $1,400, $1,450, at least she can rationalize, because that's where the rent should be. I haven't raised the rent, so I think it's not out of the question based on her alternatives, because she's going to look at it as, crap, I have to move if I don't do this deal, right? Like, this owner's got to do something. So in August, my lease is up. I'm going to go through the cost and stress of moving, because I'm going to sell it, right? And I'll just pay cap gains or whatever and won't refinance. I'll just
In
sell
fact,
it. Right?
as long as you get her payment to at least equal, so you don't have a cash flow problem, at least her payment, if it's higher or equal to your payment, the longer the amortization schedule, the better for you.
Yeah, I'd rather stretch it out, and she can
Yeah.
refi when she wants, when she's ready to, because she can refi as an owner occupant. And as if I understand it, an owner occupant on a rate and term refi can go pretty high, right? If it's just rate and term, not cash out. But if I carry back a note,
Yeah.
so get to that in a sec. So she's paying 13, 14.50,
But
right?
by the way, she can't do that until the value goes way up, because
Yes,
yeah, her note with you is 100% of the value, and it's going to need to
right.
go up by at least 120% before she can.
That's yeah, and
Yeah.
that's true, right? But she could
Right.
also save up. Let's say some of the banks might do
Oh,
an
save it up.
85%. She gives time now to save up money, right?
Right.
To refi, to bring to the closing table for refi,
Right.
right? Whatever. I'll stretch it out as long as I want to, as long as she wants to go. But the point is, I can go back to her and say, same payment. Let's do a lease option, right? Because that way you you could do an lease option, right? Or she assumes the notes. I need to go now. My main challenge is, how do I get the rest of that equity out? That 75,000. And what I have to do then is go to my private lenders, private money lenders, people that have done seller financing for me on other properties, and ask them if I can continue their loan or make it a little better. Because I got a couple of those notes that I pay, and I'm going to move their note over to this property as collateral. Their note moves into second position, so it's a little more risky for that note holder, but maybe I can again sweeten the deal by making the note holder maybe a partner in the deal, or I could put up a bond or a deposit for that note holder in escrow, right? That protects them if I default on the note or something like that. Prepay, right? This is where, how do I convince somebody to move their collateral to my other asset is really the question that now I have to answer. So that's where I'm at. And if I can convince her, I can refinance out all the money, right? Because I can go get a loan on the asset that's now free and clear.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to think of her name.
Anna.
Anna.
No, your Susan is the lady that lent unsecured funds, right?
Oh,
So
okay. So
I could
Anna's the
use
one for Melody way back.
no, that was Linda. These are all old lady names. No, we have
Yeah. So Tom is really good at getting old ladies that have done past business with us to give him private money loans for future deals.
yes, to carry back paper or to do,
Yeah.
long-term loans.
Yep.
I guess that's my niche.
Yeah.
But anyway, point is,
old lady private lenders.
yeah, the point is I can move the collateral over. I know I got a stable tenant, right? I can prepay an escrow account or do something to help mitigate the risk for that note holder. But she's got other assets too, right? I could pledge another asset. If you have assets, now you can pledge all of them as collateral, right? If one goes under, say,
Yeah.
hey, I can make a personal guarantee on another one, right? This is just about, how do I convince the seller to do this that carried back the note? So anyway, and then if the lady says yes, now I make a spread also. My mortgage payment is only about $750 a month. All right. Whereas her payment to me is going to be $1,350. Right. And her payment is going to be principal and interest.
There's one really negative thing about this that you probably already
I want to
thought
hear
of.
what I'm missing.
Right. So, because I've thought about doing the same thing with my fourplex, where I take one of my 4 renters and I sell them the whole complex with owner financing. And the reason I'm hesitant to do it is now they get to decide my tax situation, right? The second they exercise their option, which they decide, I don't decide, now I have to scramble and 1031 exchange, but I'm gonna have to pay a huge tax bill when they decide I pay it, which I don't like.
how about this? What if you wrote into the option stipulation that when they exercise the option, the owner has, say, up to 6 months to release or relinquish the property to them. The owner can deed everything, sign it all, put it into escrow, close for the sake of closing, but nothing gets recorded until the owner then allows the sale to occur. Buys you some
Try
time.
that. If I'm a buyer, I don't like that at all, but because they can't get their financing either, because they can't get deed. But
Oh, if she's using financing?
well, so no, what I'm talking about is the event that would happen that would make me have to pay taxes is when they exercise the option and get a loan, their own loan, like, because when they exercise the option, there's two ways to do it, right? Either it's like a subject to deal with a wrap and I'm the lender and they take title right away. And that's okay because that's still not a taxable event until they pay.
Sure.
I only pay taxes on the principal part of the payments, right? If I understand that correct, right? But
Yes.
yeah, or it's an option, right? Either way. But then at some point they either refinance or they exercise their option and they get a new loan. At that point, I owe taxes for the sale. And it might not be a good year for me, or it might not be a good, I can't try to make sure I don't get whacked by the tax man and lose all of my equity.
Yeah, I think that maybe I think you just stretch out that option as much as you can. I mean, mine's already 90 days. So from the moment they give notice to intent to exercise, you just have to maybe build in an extension for it and pay them
It's like
some money.
120 days, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, I get an option to extend the option. Or I'll give you $5,000, but it saves me 50 in taxes, right? Or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
Depends how much
There you go.
equity.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll report back.
Cool. But
Yeah.
well, Brandon, what's going on in your world right now? I know we got the meeting. I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, just right now, just generating leads through need to sell my house fast right now, and just talking with people and trying to get on appointments.
God, so you sold the last deal and now you're looking for the new deal, but you got nothing in process right now.
Yeah, nothing in process. No.
Yeah, we need to fix that, man. We definitely need to fix that.
Yeah.
What kind of deals are you trying to buy? What's your niche or your ideal purchase?
Yeah, so the ideal purchase is mostly well, in my market, it's probably gonna be around the $250,000 ARV, $250,000 price range. And just basically, buy it, probably use hard money or private money and go and fix it up and sell it retail. So
Cool. So you want to do some rehab and resell? You want to flip something?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
Well,
also like some of these leads have been listings too. So I mean they work out as good listings. So I'm able to monetize those that way as well. But I definitely I need more. I need more leads. Yeah.
yeah. How many offers are you making a week or a month, would you estimate?
This month I've made 2 offers and they weren't interested. I mean, it's just, and the leads the leads that I didn't generate, but the leads that I received that I paid for wanted up. I think I've received. Do you guys see if we get leads in our follow-up, boss?
Yeah, I can look it up for you.
Okay. Yeah, I've marked most of them as need to sell my house fast. Here,
Where'd it go? um, oh, that's the wrong login. Damn it.
Oh, so he's our keys guy, huh?
I'm the keys
Oh,
guy.
you're the keys guy. Learn who the keys guy. So you get any deals out of that? Out of
Not out of the 4 leads so far. No, I started giving leads to my real estate agent. I've only just a week ago started doing it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the agent that I've been working with down there.
Hey man, we ought to make this just a franchise, like one brand, and just put satellite locations. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
Just
Now
in other cities.
I've noticed on Follow Up Boss, I can't filter per, like in Safari, it doesn't work. Every time I try to add an agent, this drop down menu comes and just screws me up. But on Chrome, it works.
Okay.
All right, so Tom, Brandon has his Follow Up Boston website through us already.
Okay, so he's just not buying leads yet.
Right. And I have to go back and look. I even forget what we set up Brandon way back when, but he's either paying a monthly fee or a yearly fee or something for the.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a yearly membership.
Cool. So
I think I counted like 10.
So we're wanting to say in the last, well, it's been 12 days since you've had a lead come in.
I did turn it off because I kind of got overwhelmed with other ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
and then
here,
I was basically, I turned it off because I was on kind of like a little vacation.
So these ones that say website, these came through SEO or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mark that one. That should be also need to my, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Let me mark that one.
Here we go. Back on January 31st. This one came through the website, right? Yeah.
That one.
Definitely did.
You mean like SEO or through your paid? Are you running paid ads?
No, I haven't ran paid ads since early last year, I believe.
What market are you in?
Well, it looks like you were in October, right? October 22. And then you had this one come in on January 31st. This one was probably SEO on, because here, if we look at these step 1 to Follow Up Boss, these came directly from your website, right? So this guy on January 31st was probably SEO, but then here you were running ads is my guess.
Yeah. I think so.
What what market?
It's the Killeen Fort Hood market. Well, I'd just say Bell County, Texas. Bell County.
Okay. Man, we're gonna
yeah, it's not it's not like Austin, Texas or Dallas, Texas.
How many, what's the population of the city?
The population is of the city, I'd say, what's that?
Of the biggest city in that county that you're targeting?
The biggest city, I'd probably say it'd be Killeen because it's Fort Hood, it's military. I don't know the exact population of it. Yeah,
man, could be a great. I mean, if you're around military, could be a great place to get deals because military people have to get up, get out, sell their house quick. They paid 0% down for it. I had one of my best subject to deals from a VA loan.
Yeah. I mean, I'll buy houses too, subject to with here I haven't done a wraparound mortgage, but it was a subject to. They're about to go into foreclosure, and I bought it and flipped it, and it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Well, it's a hot, man. You crush it if you start getting some leads, either through us or through like a proper, ad spend and campaign. Texas is on fire for investors and flippers right now. I'm in a couple groups, and when somebody posts like a wholesale deal out of Texas somewhere, there's a lot of investors jumping on.
Yeah. Yeah.
deal right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's a great market. And
Yeah.
land in Texas is also very hot market too. Just if you want to flip land or develop on it or parcel it up, subdivide, it's great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think I generated like what I think, well, I didn't generate, but I purchased 13 leads, I think it was.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here I'm looking at, so you have the Texas Home Advisor site and then the Texas Home Partners. The
Yeah.
Texas Home Partners is through me. Then I'm seeing this other site you got put together, the Texas House Advisors.
Yes.
What platform is that on?
That's just that is just a WordPress. Yeah, just a WordPress platform using I can't think of the plugin.
Drop
There's a
funnels?
plugin in it.
Oh,
What's that?
it looks good, man. I'm just you
Yeah.
have some web
What's the
development
URL?
skills, man.
Well, so the thing is, I mean, well, I wouldn't, I have enough to be dangerous, but I mean, the thing is like you can go on Fiverr and have, have a guy do it for you.
That
But
looks great.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
good.
yeah. So, I mean, pretty much like this design is kind of like it's a copy of another program that I used, but I have it on I have it on I have that on WordPress. And
Right.
what I was been trying to do is just trying to build it out, but I wanted to run my Google ads to that landing page this to see how well that would convert, because most of the when I was researching the majority of my leads that I got from Google ads, they were all from mobile device, or not, or most of them were from mobile devices. So on this one, once you go mobile, I mean, it fits right up in there. So everything is at the at the front part, and it's meant to, if you're looking for a cash offer, it's meant to get it.
Is the format a copy of the SEO for Investors by Gerald Norton's format, or what? Who are you copying there?
Oh, well, the copy is basically I was part of a program called ACS, which is called Asset Control Specialist. And so I had signed up with theirs, and I looked at the web, the website, the way the format, or not the formatting, but pretty much how I guess the structure of it, the way it flows in the video and everything like that. So I used that, and then I put it in to I just basically, they had it as a ClickFunnels, but I was like, I'm not gonna pay for ClickFunnels. I'll just put it on WordPress.
I
So
also
had a
want to
guy.
ClickFunnels would never work, by the way, for paid advertising. The page speed time, it loads too slow, and you would just get murdered. Your conversion would be terrible. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
WordPress way better.
Yeah, but I don't from what I'm aware of, I'm not violating anybody's copyrights with using that that the formatting and the copy of that. So
So I want to point something out quick. I was sharing. I'm going to go back to showing this. So this, man, you guys probably can't see it, but I got all this Zoom crap over my way. All right, let me move this over. So this being the site, the WordPress site that you put together.
mm-hmm.
If you look just when it loads right away, when you see this, it's all about you, as in, this is what we do. We buy houses in the surrounding area. So you're just another We Buy Houses company, which used to work really well, like probably 15 years ago, for sure, 10 years ago still. But people don't give a shit about that anymore because they know there's a lot of people that buy houses, right? It's just like the wrong message to convert well. This is awesome, the sell your house fast and get more cash, but it's really tiny and buried up in the logo.
Yeah.
Where if you send, even though this looks fancy, I think I would put money on it that this one is going to convert at least twice as good, because this one is all about like, and I use the video for text too, but it's all they care about is getting their house sold and getting the most money. So that's what you're saying all over it. It's in the tagline, it's in the headline, and then even the video is like how you're going to get $20,000 or $30,000 more. Get started. I want an offer. So it's very, people have like a really short attention span, right? So even the menu bars is get a cash offer, get more cash, sell fast, get cash, more cash. Let's get started. Give me an offer so I can get cash, right? So it's very like narrow, and it has to be that way, or you won't make any money with paid advertising. Does not work unless you have a very focused message. Like, so anyway, I think if you split test them, you probably get 3.5 to 4% conversion on the better one, and you're probably going to be somewhere around 1% conversion on the WordPress one.
But yeah, okay. I do want to test it out though. So
yeah,
I'm very curious about it. I know you had I know last year you split tested one.
Yeah.
That one, it looked great, right? It looked, it was aesthetically pleasing to look at, and it was beautiful, but it just didn't perform like it.
I thought it was going to kill it,
right?
Man. Yeah, I copied the big iBuyers. I thought, hell, these guys are making all this money, like have all of these deep pockets. Like, let's see what happens. So I didn't do an exact copy of any one of them, but I was like, well, here's what Zillow's doing. Here's what Open Door's doing. And I made a copy of like the best parts of each of them and ran traffic to it, and it just sucked. Like, did not work. And I tried I put a lot of money into it. It wasn't like a half-assed test. It was, like 5K into each and a very clear winner.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in running a split test for both of them. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, so tomorrow I think you've been around for a long time and understand what we do. So when we have our meeting tomorrow morning, we'll just get straight into like, here's what we can do. I don't see a meeting taking more than 10 or 15 minutes, but we'll just I don't want to go into it here because we're recording and going to share the meeting with everybody. But
right, yeah, no, that's good. No.
We'll get straight into the offer and then decide whether.
Yes. Yeah, for the most part, the leads that I got, I mean, really, it's just everything's follow up. So, I wouldn't say they're bad. They're bad leads. It's just they're not ready now, and so, and definitely take I was watching, like I was telling, I think I told Tom last week, I was going through the course and with talking with leads and stuff like that. So I've been using, those talking points in that. And, the thing is, given that, we're more than just, we buy houses, right? We can also help you. And we have a variety of different strategies that we buy houses and different ways we can help you. And, if we can learn about your situation, then we can definitely find a solution. So.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I think last week we started talking about, I know what I wanted to bring up. This was something Tom told me about the other day, which I think is awesome. So first, it's a relabeling of a lease option. It has a way better name for it. It was amortized lease. Was it ALO? Amortized lease option?
Amortizing lease option. Yeah.
Amortizing
ALO.
lease option. Way better description. I love it. ALO. But then you had mentioned to me, and I think this is a message you sent, and it really piqued my interest, like enough where I probably want attorneys to look into this, see if it's a better way to skin the cat. In fact, I'm gonna be pretty pissed at my attorney if he missed this way better way to do it. But so it's an option it's just a different way to protect yourself in case. So instead of having just an option and recording a memorandum, Tom suggested, what if we take a second position deed, so it's a wrap, pretty much, that gives us the right to foreclose to take title. So it's instead of having your power of attorney, that's your thing that can force the seller to sign the docs or let you sign the docs on behalf of the seller when you want to exercise your option someday. Instead of that, your mechanism for forcing the sale to be able to exercise your option is to foreclose on the house because you've wrapped the existing deed with another deed of trust. So you don't have title yet. You're the lender on it. And the deed that you hold pretty much says that if you get an option to buy it, and if they refuse to let you exercise your option for X amount of dollars, which will amortize, then you can foreclose and take the property for the amount that you should be able to exercise the option for. So it's a different mechanism to secure your option position. But the really beautiful part about it is it puts your spot in line on title. So you have your first lender, and now you record at the time of the option agreement, you record your deed for your second position and your deed that protects your position. And now if the person goes and like borrows a bunch of money from, I don't know, Guido, and blows it all, and
Yeah, lawsuit or something like that.
yeah, they get sued, and now all their assets get liened. But one of their assets is really your asset, but it's still in their title, right? Now, the order at which you get paid is already determined. So these liens, it still screws up the deal, right? You still have these liens in the way, but at least your position, your line, if there's lots of equity and this happens in 5 years, right, and you force the sale, you get your spot kind of like held in place, if that makes sense. And then the other people get paid with what's left if there's anything at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of them cutting you in line, which they would do, right? They'd get paid
right.
first.
The best thing is too is with the option, you exercise. Let's say you want to buy a house sub 2. I was telling you this. You want to take over the mortgage. So your option, let's say they owe 250 on a house that's worth 300, right? And they just want out, just want done. Not enough equity there for them to care. They're already ruined their credit. Forget it. No new mortgage coming. So you take over, and now you have, however, you don't take title. You just wrap an option around the 250, and that option gives you the right to buy the house at any time you exercise the option. So you don't take title yet, but you hold, you could say, equitable title on the property secured by a deed. And the better part about that is two things. Number one, it's not even a legal foreclosure process. It's a court order and a forced detainer, right? So it's not as strung out as a note, a formal note and deed of trust. And that's written into the option agreement because you're exercising your right to buy. So now you're just suing for specific performance. You're not just a lender anymore. And secondly, prevents the due on sale clause because the title of the house stays in their name and the option price reduces by the amount that you pay them payments every month.
So it's exactly the same as the lease option in every single way, except for instead of recording a memorandum on title, you record a deed on title. So it's just a much better vehicle to record it with.
Yes, and you don't have to lease it. If they want to stay in the home, for example, now you're just structuring that, helping them stay in their home, pay you back, right? You're paying down building equity on what you purchased via option agreement. And then maybe you agree to sell it back to them at a higher price later, right? I mean, there's laws around that you have to be careful with when people are in those positions, but maybe you catch up the loan for them, help them fix their credit, and then you agree to sell it to them at, say, 95% of fair market value sometime in the future, right? But now you don't get the bank to call a loan on you at that point. And So yeah, it's just a tool to hold the property,
Cool.
full control. So the amortizing option, powerful. The more I read about options, man, the more I realize, okay, that's why these multi-million and billion-dollar developer companies use options. Okay, I see. I was just blind before, but now I'm really starting to understand.
Yeah.
So,
There's advantages and disadvantages to lease option, and there's advantages and disadvantages to subject to. And what you just spelled out is the best of all worlds between subject to. It would be the way you want to do it. It's better than lease option. It's better than subject to. It's a deeded option, which is it's the best of all worlds. If it really can be done the way you just explained, which I want Michael, my attorney, to tell me. I'm going to ask him why the hell I paid him all that money to put together these lease option deals when he didn't point out that he could have just deeded it instead of a memorandum, and see what he has to say.
yeah, I was told you have to use a Fannie Mae standard template form. It's all about the lender, the way they read it when they, well, how enforceable it is. And also when you do go to sell, does that new lender recognize your interest as just another deed that they're paying off on title?
So there's one last really relevant piece of news. Right now it's only in Colorado, but I wouldn't be surprised if California's barking up the same tree and other states may follow. But there is a new bill that already passed the House of Representatives in Colorado and is up for vote next week from the Senate, that gives the state the right of first refusal on all property sales, both condos and houses. And they get 90 days to execute. So what this does is now every time anybody wants to sell a house to anybody else, the transaction gets put on hold for 90 days. You can't have it. There's no more sell your house fast. It doesn't exist if this passes. The sale gets put on hold for 90 days. And then the state of Colorado has 90 days to decide whether they're going to buy it at the same terms as the seller or as the buyer was going to buy it. They can step in as the new buyer, and then they're going to buy property. They're going to hand pick out their favorite ones, buy them, and then rent it out to people for affordable housing rates. Which, if this bill passes and then they actually do it the way the bill says, there's no more real estate investors. And like, why would you ever do it, right? Like, spend money on why would you spend money to bring in leads so the government can just take over as the buyer? Like, you just wouldn't.
So basically the government becomes open door.
Yeah, but they don't even have to do any advertising, because they just put every single transaction in the state on hold so they can cherry pick out their favorite ones.
Well, that's when you better be really good at negotiating lease options, because that's going to be the only way of buying.
Good call, right? yeah, lease option.
That's it. Like,
oh, I don't want to get too worked up about it because it hasn't happened yet. But
sounds pretty unconstitutional, but
extremely.
I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
I can't believe that it actually passed through the House. Like, how the hell did that pass through anything? But it did.
Jesus. Well, we invite you to North Carolina to take some leads.
Oh, I'll be leaving Colorado immediately. The second that passes, it'll be like making my plans for the exit.
That's great. Maybe I'll just sell all my rental properties for like 110%. Actually, you should line up as my buyer, and then they could step in and overpay.
Right?
We should try to bait them a little bit.
They wouldn't pick the high cost. They're going to pick the best deals. They do it.
No, we'll just have a network of buyers that all overbid each other's properties, and we'll all get out together. Just conspire against.
Well, I'm wondering if that's, I don't know. This just sounds crazy. That's just, that's ridiculous. I bet you like Open Doors colluding with the government too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I bet so.
See if I can find it here. I was gonna give
Colorado's going to hell.
I think I deleted it already.
Well, we can't do lease options in Texas. We can do them, but they've got to be less than 90 days.
Regulated.
Or I'm sorry, less than 179 days.
Yeah, it's pretty regulated there, I believe.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could do the deeded thing.
Just take an option.
Well, I think I don't know, the law, I mean, if it's a contract for deed, it falls up under that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bill I was just talking about, just because it seems so unreal, just to make it feel a little more real, it's HB 23-1190, and it's called Affordable Housing Right of First Refusal.
Wow.
The real thing. HB 23-1190.
So the government has a right of first refusal.
Yeah.
Or
Is it
Colorado, state of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
When does it
Wow.
present it to the Senate?
I think next week. I don't have the exact date on it. I couldn't find that in what I was
All right,
researching.
well, keep us abreast.
Yeah, that'll be it's major on my I'm paying attention, so I'll definitely let you know when I hear.
Okay.
So basically have the option you were talking about, that would basically put you like as a right of first refusal, then put you in that, having that right of, or putting you in that position, right?
Well, you couldn't do lease options either. Now that I think about it more, not amortized lease options, right? Because the power of it is your sale price goes down because it's amortized. So as soon as you go to exercise your option, you're going to have this extremely low price. That's because you earned it through your payments for the last 10 years or whatever. So the state will just step in and take the property from you and then rent it out for cheap to poor people.
Yeah, I guess you tell them I'm never going to transfer title, but for the next 100 years, I have full control of this property.
Yeah.
And I can refinance, we can try to refinance it out together. You can add me onto the deed. Some funky shit's going to happen for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Things are getting pretty crazy. So I think anything's possible. I would say there's no way this would pass a year ago, but now, who knows?
Well, what if you have the right of first refusal in the contract? Would that, so basically that would null you having the right of first refusal, because the government would be, or you couldn't be able to do it because the government would already have it in place as, if they create that law, right?
I guess you'd have the right of second refusal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, unless either of you got anything, let's wrap it up and then we'll plan on talking tomorrow at 9.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Cool.
9 o'clock.
Oh,
your time, right?
yeah,
Or
Mountain Time. Sorry,
not time. Okay, so yeah, 10 o'clock here.
So right now it's 10:55 here.
Yep. 11:55 here.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. See you at 10.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Hi guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.